Come here, deliver.
With the release of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 drawing near, it makes sense right now to revisit the world of Kingdom Come Deliverance and see what exactly it is that makes it a cult classic. Kingdom Come Deliverance came out in 2018. It is one of the few medieval games without dragons and magic. It is a true historical fiction. The game has an unwavering commitment to realism and tries to capture its world as historically accurate as possible. It does not hold your hand by any means. It forces you to learn and adapt to the game's mechanics. It has a story worth caring about, and the combat is one of a kind. Not to mention its awesome soundtrack. It offers a genuinely authentic experience. The game is with its flaws though. It has bugs and suffers from technical issues. In this video I'll be sharing my thoughts on the game and what makes it stand out. Kingdom Come Deliverance is set in early 15th century Bohemia, a part of the Holy Roman Empire, a region rich in culture and silver. The game world is meticulously designed. Many of the locations are based on real-life locations in Czech Republic. The game developers actually worked with a historian to craft the world of Kingdom Come Deliverance. A special attention to detail has gone to the buildings, churches, and castles in the game, reimagined in an impressive manner which reflects their medieval architecture and layout. The forests are super realistic in the game, maybe one of the most realistic ones designed in a video game till date. Their serenity and ambience make strolling in them worth your while. The game is set after the death of Charles IV in the midst of an actual historical conflict between half-brothers King Sigismund and King Wenceslas IV. King Wenceslas, who is the rightful heir to the throne of King Charles IV, failed to deliver as the emperor. This led to some of the nobles conspiring against him and turning to his half-brother for help. Their dissension led to a divide in the nobility. Their conflict reached a boiling point with King Wenceslas being abducted by King Sigismund. Sir Wadzig Kobyla, who serves as the governor of Skalitz and royal hetman, sided with King Wenceslas. During the prologue, King Sigismund decided to take a radical approach and attack the town of Skalitz without any warning. You play as Henry, belonging to the town of Skalitz. Henry is an idler with a beastly appetite who spends most of his time drinking with his friends and getting into random brawls. He is the apprentice to his father, who is the master blacksmith of Skalitz. Henry is no superhuman, he is pretty much a medieval loser. But he has dreams though. He wants to get out of Skalitz and explore the world on his own. Well, little did he know that his wish would in fact come true, but at a devastating cost. In the prologue, Henry is working with his father on Sir Wadzig's sword when King Sigismund's army attacks without any warning. Henry has to helplessly watch his parents and fiancé get brutally murdered. Here, Henry is tasked to carry a message to the nearby town of Tamburg about the attack. It is here that Henry's story begins, a story of vengeance and personal redemption, a story of a boy becoming a man, a story that features great character development. At the beginning of the game, Henry is absolutely clueless. You have to build skills from the ground up. And Henry is such an idiot that despite being a blacksmith's apprentice, his maintenance skill is 0 at the start of the game. This is something that I've always found very funny. Kingdom Come Deliverance does not baby you at all at the start. Some new players may find adjusting difficult due to a steep learning curve. It requires you to actually work and listen to the dialogue and understand the game mechanics. Difficult at first and time consuming, things do ease up once you get the hang of it. Once you develop your skills to a high enough level, everything feels easy. Leveling up your skills feels satisfying and gives you a feeling of achievement, sometimes a little strenuous though. Henry, being a peasant, does not know how to read. You have to learn it from a scribe, adding to the immersion and showing the game's commitment to realism. Learning how to read will open the option of reading skill books, which offer nice value for skill building. You even have to brew potions on your own to improve alchemy. Brewing your own potions is fun for someone like me, plus alchemy offers some nice perks. After building your skills to a certain level, the game does give you the option to choose certain perks, which can prove to be advantageous in certain conditions. Some perks are important for proper gameplay. For instance, in stealth, you get the stealth kill perk at level 5. Before that, you cannot kill anyone using stealth. You can knock them down though, but you cannot kill anyone. Developing skills such as pickpocketing and reading will open up new routes that you can take while completing quests, making the effort worth it. Additional dialogue options will also be available at times. Stealth, lockpicking, and pickpocketing can be really advantageous for the player, making the time you invest in them worth it. I personally have the most fun in Kingdom Come Deliverance when using stealth. All in all, though satisfying, but skill building can be a bit of a grind in Kingdom Come Deliverance. I personally don't mind this, but it may drive some players away. Because you start as a literal nobody in Kingdom Come Deliverance, when you get to a high level in a certain skill, you feel a unique sense of achievement. The combat in the game is quite unique, at times complex but very fun. The game features a diverse set of close-range weapons. For long-range combat, we have bows. Initially, there is a solid chance that you will get absolutely obliterated a lot. Combat also has a steep learning curve. Getting the hang of it will require spending time learning from Captain Bernard. The combat itself is quite immersive and the game tries its best to capture it as realistically as possible. A lot of attention has gone to the combat system in Kingdom Come Deliverance. It is very detailed. Directions in combat matter. Positioning is also very important in combat. And different weapons have different damages for certain attack types. For example, slashing with a mace is not a very good idea as it does very little damage while slashing. Instead, blunt attacks should be favored with a mace. It is challenging initially, but once you get to a high enough level, it becomes very easy. Unless you are encountering multiple enemies. Encountering multiple enemies is always a challenge and may force you to rethink your strategy or even run away from combat despite being at a high level, at times of course. You may feel the urge to run away from the game itself as well. In close range combat, Master Strikes are overpowered. You can learn Master Strikes from Captain Bernard after the quest Ginger in a Pickle. This imbalance is something they need to address in the sequel. An immersion breaking thing is that low level enemies and even farmers who attack you roadside are able to execute Master Strikes perfectly. This is something that baffles me. As you level up, you can learn certain combos for a given weapon. They look great, you can learn them from Captain Bernard, and they make you feel like quite the knight when you start nailing them. But they are mostly just for showmanship. I only know 1 or 2 combos, but I spam them every chance I get. They're great for showmanship, they look absolutely stunning, and you feel like a proper knight after landing them. It is very satisfying when you land them. One nitpick I have about close range combat is that the change of direction when encountering multiple enemies feels clunky and can prove to be annoying. Close range combat in Kingdom Come Deliverance is at its best when you are fighting a high level enemy 1v1. As mentioned before, we have bows for long range combat. I really like using the bow in Kingdom Come. Leveling up and gradually experiencing more and more control over your shots is very satisfying. I did find leveling up with the bow a lot slower as compared to close range weapons. Maybe that's because you tend to use them more. Climbing a spot where enemies are not able to go and spamming arrows to fend off multiple enemies is always a great strategy. The game gives you the freedom to explore and get through quests however you want, to a certain extent of course. Your playstyle will be dictated by the skills you choose to develop as they will open different routes to complete quests. For instance, in the prologue, Henry is tasked to get money back from Kunesh. How you get it back will depend on your playstyle as there are numerous ways to do so. The game also gives you a lot of freedom in combat. As someone who loves stealth in Kingdom Come, I love to sneak up on enemies and assassinate them quietly. There is just something so satisfying about this. Playing as a stealth archer is never not fun in video games. Whether it is Skyrim or even with Kingdom Come, it is always a blast. The game tries its best to keep things as realistic as possible. Is it 100% realistic? No, because it is a video game. It does however give you the feeling of realism. And that is a monumental achievement for any video game. Architecture of buildings, layout of the towns, the routine, societal hierarchy, and roles of townfolk all make the game feel alive and make the player feel like they are living in medieval times. Henry needs to be fed, otherwise he will keep pestering you about how hungry he is.
I have to eat something. My insides are shriveled up with the hunger.
You also need to let Henry get some sleep. Clothes and weapons require maintenance. Henry gets dirty, you need to take him to a bathhouse to get him cleaned. The game features taverns which are very lively. You can play dice in them. I've spent an unhealthy amount of time playing dice in these taverns. In my opinion, the dice minigame is really fun. All these elements deliver the feeling of realism and make the world of Kingdom Come Deliverance feel immersive and alive. The main quest in Kingdom Come Deliverance revolves around the vengeance of Henry. At the start of your playthrough, it is natural to feel lost. What you want to do in this situation is look at the quest log and approach the people and places related to the quest. There are a lot of great quests in the main quest line that I thoroughly enjoyed. Your dialogue choices and decisions carry weight in these quests. Your decisions and dialogue choices will affect your reputation as well.
You don't have to go back to the Rosenbergs.
How do you know about the Rosenbergs?
Master Fayfire recognised the writing on your letter of passage.
Just as I said, there is nothing safe from prying eyes in this land. And where would you suggest I go?
Into Sir Radzig's service. He needs people like you.
I serve Kubila. Out of the question. If he learned of all that I did for the Rosenbergs, he would hang me from the nearest tree. But you are right, I do not have to return to the Rosenbergs. In fact, I cannot.
Why not?
I am a knight without a crest, without allegiance. No one was meant to know whom I serve. If the Rosenbergs hear that I have been found out, they will see to it I vanish. They cannot afford to be associated with me.
Where will you go then?
Where the road takes me, as I have many times before. Farewell, Henry.
Auf Wiedersehen.
It is worth mentioning that some of the quests have timers. If you take too long, you may miss out on significant advancements in said quests. In the main quest line, you encounter a diverse set of characters that are written really well. Most of them at least. Main quest occasionally branches into a couple of side quests. There is a great deal of freedom with how you approach the quests. This is something I really love about Kingdom Come Deliverance. The game also features great side quests. These range from simple fetch quests to complex quests which occasionally expand on Henry's relationships, making them feel personal and meaningful. In your journey, you meet some great characters like Sir Hans Capon. They are written very well, not just simple good or bad characters, they are multi-layered. Henry's relationship with them progresses in a natural way, not just Sir Hans, other individuals as well. But Sir Hans was the one that stood out for me in the whole game, a genuinely well-written character. The dialogue in the game is done very well. The game tries its best to maintain historical accuracy to the best of its ability with the dialogue as well. Dialogue options you get are diverse and actually carry weight in the conversation. Some dialogue options will decide the fate of the individuals that you meet on your journey. Whether they live or not, or if they face punishment or not, will depend on your decisions. At times you will get random encounters on the road, and you can choose to help the people you meet or not. You can actually be mean to the people. Something that has become a rarity in RPGs these days. Your dialogue choices impact your reputation with individuals based on your decisions. The ability to gaslight people must be lauded.
Well, Henry. The girls told me they'd seen you with those shameless wenches at the bathhouse. Is it true?
Hey, lad! Don't you want a little
Never.
wager on the rat ape?
Why on earth would I go with some harlot when I've got the prettiest girl around?
You silver-tongued devil. But I know you. You'd never lie to me, would you? I'm sorry for doubting you.
I did that to her just to show the dialogue option, by the way. The voice acting is very good in the game. The characters convey the message very well. Voice acting in the cutscenes is quite immaculate. The cutscenes themselves are done very well. What is not done well are the character animations outside of the cutscenes. They are pretty bad. One might even say Bethesda-like. Actually, you know what? Better than Bethesda. I've just come to realize Bethesda games rarely have any animations. Or good ones at least. I personally see the funny side to these animations, but they must be called out. Kingdom Come Deliverance has 6 DLCs. They're all alright. A lot of them I feel needed more time in the oven. Band of Bastards had a really good idea behind it, but then it just ended abruptly. From the Ashes has a nice little management touch, where you rebuild Prebyslavitz. I have a strong feeling that this also could have been much more if they gave it more time. The amorous adventures of bold Sir Hans Capon did not really expand into his relationship with Henry. It was a missed opportunity, as Sir Hans is a really beloved character. A Woman's Lot is very polarizing, but I personally really like the part which involves Theresa. You get to see things from her perspective and it is really unique. I did not enjoy the whole dream sequences of Johanka that much. Treasures of the Past introduces a lot of treasure maps which you can track down. They're not that hard to track down. And then there is the tournament, which is self-explanatory as it adds a tournament. The DLCs are not worth buying individually. Instead, you should opt to go for the Royal Edition, which contains all of them. When the game came out, it had a notoriously bad port on PC. The console ports were also not that great, with very frequent frame drops. I started out with uncapped FPS and found the very frequent stutters quite annoying. In my experience, limiting the frames to a certain value decreased the stutters to almost none. I do, however, experience frame drops in towns and castles. My experience in the woods is as smooth as butter. The card I have is the RX 6600 paired with a Ryzen 5 3600. As far as the graphics are concerned, Kingdom Come Deliverance is not a graphical masterpiece by any means. It does, however, look good given the right setting. And it does feature one of the most realistic looking forests that I have witnessed in a video game. Their ambience and serenity is unparalleled in terms of being realistic. The beautiful and ultra-realistic pastures deserve to be appreciated as well. They are easily comparable to real life. Kingdom Come Deliverance is authentic, unique, and even unapologetic at times. It offers a truly one-of-a-kind experience. Its story features memorable quests, complex characters, and freedom to do as you please. Character development in this game is top-notch, and it offers an exceptional feeling of satisfaction as you progress. This is a game made with love and passion. It holds a very special place in my heart despite its numerous bugs and clunky controls at times.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're a wizard, Harry.
I definitely recommend Kingdom Come Deliverance to anyone looking for an authentic and refreshing experience in the world of video games, particularly role-playing games. I do strongly advise that if you are looking to purchase the game, do purchase the Royal Edition, which features all the DLC. It is usually on sale and it is very cheap. Kingdom Come Deliverance has truly become a cult classic, and I really hope Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 can become a mainstream success. With Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 set to release on February the 4th of 2025, I am genuinely excited to play that game. With this, I'd like to conclude the video. Thank you very much for your time and goodbye.